Good morning, traders. Welcome to our trading room. For my YouTube viewers, this is Monday morning, and we will be giving you this recording for the daily webinar. I hope you guys are enjoying it, and I hope it actually helps you. To be honest, I am not sure that all of the patterns we show you are going to play out immediately. Some of them might take a while to play out. Some of them might happen within the next hour. So by the time you're watching this recording, most of what we show you might have already finished or might not have even started it yet. Some could even change. If you want to know what we do, it's called wave analysis. It's the most accurate forecasting method that exists. So if you'd like to understand more of it, watch my videos. If you'd like to join us, send me a Skype message. Skype is in the description, just under the video. My Skype there, send me a Skype message. That's the only place you will ever get to contact me. If you send me a message on Facebook, you send me a message anywhere else, I will not get your message, or I might not even read it because I don't check those places. The only place that I check for messages is on Skype. Right? I have a WhatsApp, but I don't use it for only for personal reasons. I do not use it for Forex or for anything else. So if you send me a WhatsApp message, I'll ask you to please contact me on Skype, because all the Skype, the only thing I'm using Skype for is for people who are my traders. And that means if I get a message here, I know it's one from one of my traders or one of the future people who would like to join our group. Thank you. That said, let's move on. So if you remember last week, we tell you we're still in the consolidation, not much. And at this point, once you break the top, the chances are it will either continue to go. We were trading this to break the top. It will continue to go. It will reverse. Now, we've got a very nice impulse down here. That doesn't mean anything. Look at this impulse. All it means is you could correct that impulse, make another one like this, go back there, do another one like this. And there's a very, very high probability we go back up. Right? This might be the first correction, but it means we might still go back here and test that out. Now, would it do that? I don't know. What I'm expecting is a correction here, and either depending on how this correction goes, how deep it goes, what it looks like, there's also a chance that you come and you retest this low, that this is all. But because we don't have divergence, there's a high probability of it going back up once more, right? So what we're looking for is a correction like this. At some point, this up move here will start to make a flag or a correction, and the depth of this correction will tell us. If it comes here and then go back there, we're coming down totally. If this correction stays in this range, we're going to go higher. And how high you come into this, well, it's anybody's guess. Anyone who tells you they know where it's going to stop, congratulations. They're either a billionaire or they'll be the first trillionaire in the world. Right? You don't know that, but that doesn't mean you can't trade it. That means you manage the trade to a certain point, and when you see it turning, you get the hell out of it. Right? So this move up is probably going to happen, and then we will come back down. So what we're going to try to do is get this move up today. If we can figure out where that pattern is. So we normally go on the 1 hour. And on the 1 hour, I notice it's moving upwards, which means I want to see what it looks like in the 15. And in the 15, I can see the first impulse here. There's an up move. I do not think this is the running flat. That is a possibility, but I don't think that is it, because this one is a little too short. So if it comes back here, I would expect it to go back up and at some point come deeper. Make this one, and then that becomes my buy. This is where we'll start looking for the buy. Now, can we sell this down? Well, it depends on your skill levels. You can do anything you want in the chart. You can even sell this one down if you have the skill level. But that's a really, really bad idea. Nothing is wrong with it. It's just a very bad idea. Yes, thanks, Oscar. The Skype is, normally they'll get it in the thing, but I should probably share it. Some traders don't know how to find it, so it's MANGL457. That's my Skype. Send me a message if you didn't get it. Thanks, Oscar, for a reminder. So we're going to go for this here. I still don't think this is it. It could be it. If that is it, then normally what you would do is you'll put an entry order above the top here. Put an entry order above the top, because that's a running flat. We'll put the stop under the low. In this case, I'll say keep the stop a little. By the way, if you're asking what this line is that is we sold this on Friday. Right, Friday it was the news and we sold this. We took profit. I think all the trades we got, a lot of them we actually did, and everybody closed with wealthy profit. Afterwards, it actually reversed when you closed. And if you were still there, remember I said if it comes up, make a 5 minutes flag, take the trade to the upside. If any one of you did that, you did excellent. So what I think is this is going to go up more. From the size of the first impulse, it's bigger than this. So I assume that this is going to be a bigger flat, even if it's a flat for downside. Considering we got a running flat here now, there's at least one more impulse up. So let's see if we can get an impulse to the upside. This is coming down, but I don't think it's going to go very far. So what I think is going to happen is we'll probably come here. I don't think you want to sell this. If you want to sell it, let it make a flag here. If we think this is the top of it, that's not the top. We didn't break this top, right? So if this is, we think this is going to go deeper for this one, right? And again, this is the one, right? This didn't break the top. So this is definitely going to be a flag its way. But this could also don't go down, right? It could stop right here and just take off. And that means we will accept this one as the running flat, right? That would be the only option we have. So let's see if it comes. Let's see if it goes. Or if you get tagged in this and it's going to come back for this one, you have to keep your stop a little lower, only for that purpose. That if this is not the matching one, then there's another one coming. This could be, if this makes a flat, then perfect. We know what it is. If this comes here, make a flat, it's going to go back up, come back here, and then go. Because this flat would be the core correction within this whole thing. Okay, now for my trade, remember what I'm doing this webinar, we are in our trading room. We're just putting this out on YouTube for you as a recording. We're in the trading room right now. So I'm talking to my traders, and they clearly have an understanding what I'm doing. And I can tell you this might not be easy for you if you're not a wave analysis trader. How I know that? The latest trader to join us last week actually came in the room. He's an installment trader. He joined and he came in the room and then he said, "Holy Christmas, I think I have to learn this stuff because I was in there for a week and I could hardly get what you guys are doing." He said, "I can see the trade setups, I can see the trades, and I can see how you guys are trading, but that is way above what I understand." And sometimes we are so used to what we do in this room and the way we do it that when I'm showing a trade setup, I might go shorthand and said, "Okay, guys, take this sell," and that's all. My traders immediately understand where the setup should be, what the strategy be, what the money match, but everything should be. I just have to say, take the sell. And they already got the message. New traders in the room coming and say, "What the hell did you mean by take the sell? Like, where is the sell? What are the criteria? What strategy? How you're going to do everything," right? Because the traders in the room already have that knowledge. I don't need to repeat it. Now, the same thing happens on YouTube. Sometimes I would say, "Hey, there's a really good sell setup here." And people who are watching it for the first time on YouTube are not really, accustomed to our way of trading and our strategy. And then look at, what the hell is he talking about? Like, where is the sell? Or sometimes I'd said, "Okay, we will take the sell. And if it doesn't go, we're going to close it and then get into the buy." And that totally confuses everybody. If you want, what you can do is watch more of my videos, especially the live sessions I did. That would probably help you. Sometime next week or so, or sometime this month, by the end of this month, I would be doing a live session. I know I've promised you guys a 1-week free live session way back. The reason I'm holding it back is because there are 1 or 2 brokers who are considering whether they want to do it joint with me, right? Whether they would like me to do it for them live, be the presenter for them live, not advertising the broker, but being the presenter. They will host it, they will advertise it, and I will be the guest speaker. That is good for me because then I get more ads, and it's good for them if you want to join it. Basically, that's the only reason I'm holding it back. If they don't, I'll still go ahead and do it all by myself. So for the people who watch me on YouTube, stay tuned. You'll get a week free sometime this month. Dollar index. So we're expecting more upside. That means silver should probably go down. But if you notice the way silver has been behaving last week, it really wasn't working the way dollar index was going, right? Silver was dropping and dollar index was dropping. Silver was going up, dollar index was going up. They really weren't moving in the same. Silver is doing its own thing, right? It's kind of doing. So if you look at the way we are in the 4 hours, we're coming down. And again, we do have divergence. We have divergence never mean the end of the move. You can continue to have divergence for a long time. And last week we saw this pattern and we know it was going to drop. First, to complete the pattern, it went up and then it's going to drop. So if you look at it in the 1 hour, what you would see is that we bought that up last week in the 1 minute, right? We bought this up because we knew that was going to spike when it came here. We wanted a 1, 2, 3, a 1, a 2, and a 3, and you got that. But then it dropped after that, which is a good sign that it dropped. Now, here's the thing. We didn't break the low. So this is not the low of the structure. And when that happens, I'll bring you up to the top here. I think I've explained that before in one of these big patterns, is when you got something that you think is a complete pattern, like say, for example, this one, right? When we thought this should come and break this low, but it didn't break the low, right? This should come break the low to complete it. It didn't break. What happens is, doesn't mean it's going to take off to the upside. It means you're going to make a much bigger consolidation within that structure, right? So immediately you're thinking, okay, this thing is making a bigger flat. So this 1, 2, 3 becomes one part of the structure, right? That is still remains a 1, 2, 3 of this still remains 1, 2, 3. This is a sharp move down. So whatever is going to happen here would have to be a consolidation. It will come back here very often. 99% chance you're going to get this coming back to the bottom from. It doesn't matter if it goes more. It's going to come back. at some point. And when it comes back, you're going to get this as a flat, 1, 2, 3. After which this 1, 2, 3 repeats itself back to the top. Now, depending on how low it comes and how high it goes, we'll see what pattern we get. But then you're going to get this, and all of this will become one big consolidation before it drops again. Right? So you're going to get a bigger consolidation. That's not the takeoff. Sometimes this goes pretty high, by the way. Right? Sometimes it ends up going pretty high because this might be the bigger one than these two, right? Bigger than these two, which means it could go pretty high all the way to here. So depending on how high this starts to go, right? What pattern we're going to see in there. But it's going to trade as a consolidation and eventually retest the low. So can this one drop to the bottom? Right now, there isn't a really good sell setup in this. It's coming down really slow. And when that happens like this, when it's coming down really slow, you have to wait for a flat like this started to come down really slow. You have to wait for something you can sell. And something you can sell would be this, right? It's coming down slow like this. You can see those small ones and they're not very reliable. You wait for a bigger one. So if this keeps coming down like that, it keeps coming down like that, it probably will stop, make a small one, stop, make a small one, stop. Depending on your skill level, you can trade those. But the better thing is to wait for one of this. And then you can take this one for a drop. Right? Because you're going to get a move that will be equivalent to this. That is if it's making this one. What if it's making a bigger correction in here? What if this starts to just do this and go up and down like this? Then we will end up with this again, come back here, and then go. This would be a flat of its own. So this is how complex it can become. Here's the thing. The way we trade, we understand that. We understand which part is going to happen. And that's why I'm not trading this, because this could be a flag for a buy. Right? This could end up doing that. But I'm not looking for a buy setup here, especially with this at the back of it. Because the buy setup might just tag the top and drop like this, and now you're in big trouble. And that's where traders lose their money. They see this and they say, oh, that's a good flag, let's buy it, it's going up. And then the next thing you know, it just tagged the top and reverse. And they have no idea what to do. Now they're in the trade upside down, they pull their stops because, oh, well, it's supposed to go up, it's probably going to go back up. And you keep watching it drop here, they hedge it or they close it here and watch it go back up. Right? So I am not looking for a buy, although it looks like a buy setup. I'll rather ignore that one. If I get this sell setup, I'll take it because I'm expecting this move down. Hope that is clear. So we're looking for a sell setup, although we don't have a sell setup right now. Dollar English, by the way, I should take that off. So this one, we bought that also. You see there's a buy setup on gold. That was for the up move, and then it dropped after that. So you've got a perfect 1, 2, 3. No problem. Here's the thing. We've got this sharp move here now. So nothing new. We are expecting this to happen after you got a flat like that in the middle of this. So this one is telling me it can. It doesn't have to go any more higher. See that? It doesn't have to go. This is a good running flat, but there's a good chance it could still go. Right? It could even become an expanded, after which we're expecting it to drop. And it's not like you haven't seen a pattern like that. I'll probably even show you one here. Here's a good example. 1, 1, 2, 3, drop. This one is a more flat drawn out one. This is the one, an example of this that you're going to look for. Here is a good example, 1, 2, 3, upside. So there's a good chance that this either goes up one more or start dropping from now. I think we're getting a sell setup here. I think there's a very good sell setup and it's something we can take. If this stays here a little longer, you just want it a little more like this, prove that it's actually a flat and it's looking very much like one. Yep, looking very much like a consolidation start. This is the low, so let it consolidate more. I'm not looking at a running flat there. It could be a channel, right? If it keeps doing this, it could be a channel that goes one more up. So wait for it to become a flat. If you see it as a flat, go for the sell. Right, go for the sell. Even if it doesn't drop all the way to the bottom, you probably get one like this. We don't need this though, we have this one. So there's a good chance you could be looking at this as the flat. If not, let's say this is the correction of its own. This one is going to drop here and go back up and drop. So let's look for the sell setup. Go back to the 15, look for a sell setup. 50 means flag, that would be perfect. Look for a sell setup. Euro, I think this is classical. I don't even need to explain anything here. Right, this is classical. You probably, I don't think this is it. Again, I don't think this is the one because this is pretty high. So even if this comes back here, I'll probably put it like this and hope that it goes back up one more, give us a running flat and then drop. Now, will Euro drop? I think there's no question on this one if it's going to drop. Right, where were we? We're in this one. And remember, this was very corrective. I never thought that's the impulse to the upside. So is this dropping all the way to the bottom? And by the way, if you're looking at this arrow, that arrow didn't suddenly appear there, right? It appeared when we were here to go to break this top. And that's what happened. Here's the thing. This is the up move, and this has a lot of pieces in it. It doesn't necessarily have to replicate. It doesn't have to be the same, but it could be, which means this might be part of this one, right? This up move. So it could drop here, go back up there, come back here, make another one, and then drop. Be aware of that possibility because this one has a huge flat inside. But again, it doesn't necessarily have to be. So we will take this sell. If it doesn't go, we'll take it off a break even, and then we'll come. Let that consolidate some more. Remember, it will go back here. So probably in the next 4 or 5 hours, we'll get that trade. The bigger trade, you can take the smaller one now if you want. I think you guys have the skill level for that, which is if you get this flag, take it, because that flag will drop beyond this point, and then get it to break even in case it goes back up for this one. Right? So if this is a contracting flat, we will go. I don't like contracting flats. So the chances are this one drop beyond this, and we go with this as an expanding flat. This just drop here, but then go right back up for this. And then we get the drop. Right? So we'll take this and then we'll manage it. And if it goes back up, we might not get the buy, but we'll definitely get the sell on the downside. And if the sell just dropped about here to go back up, great. That's a good trade. So we're looking for a sell setup. Actually, this would be an active sell very soon. Pong, same thing here. Same classical. Pong doesn't have to go back anywhere. I think we discussed this last week, right, with Pong. Pong doesn't have to go anywhere. It could totally drop from this point. Or it could still continue to go and break this stop. Right? We don't know which one is going to be. Is this a correction of this move, or is it trying to go back up and this will be a bigger part of it? Right now, it's pretty sharp, though. It's really sharp. Remember, we were buying it last week because it's sharp. And we do have this one that is relatively sharp, this one here. So if we take it to be an expanding flat, let's go with a running flat or expanding flat. The possibility is, well, yeah, this could actually just come here and go back up. If we don't take it, if we assume that whatever happens in here is a contracting flat, I don't like the contracting flat idea, but you could go with it. I still don't like that contracting flat idea. I think this expanding flat with this flat in the middle makes more sense. So assume that it's going to come down one more and then go back up. It's not ready to come down in any case. We need to go back up, right? This needs to definitely go back up somewhat. Even if we go with this as a 1, 2, 3, I don't like this to be all of it. This might just come here and then go back up there and then come. But you could have a contracting flat there. I don't like this sell, but if you're selling it, sell it under this. Make sure that this doesn't go back up first. So we can assume a contracting flat here. And it goes. But there's a very good chance it's going to come back here, put a bigger stop. If you're going to sell this, use a bigger stop. So it's not a sell setup as yet, but we're waiting for a sell setup. I think we take this out. If you want to sell this, you got to be careful. I don't like the idea. Sell the euro, it's a better one. Let this come. Let us prove that this is out of the way. I don't think that is out of the way. We can go with this. I think this is a better flat. There's a consolidation here. This is going to come here, break the low, go back up there, and then drop. So don't sell this. Let it go back up, and then we look for the sell. To the downside. So you want it to come a little. You want this to come a little here. Let me just draw the pattern quick. You want it to come just about here. Then you want this to go back up to the top. And then we get a sell setup. This has to break the, it has to break this low. And then we get a sell setup. And that sell should be okay. We'll get it from the top here somewhere. Aussie. Well, Aussie is classical, and I think you can sell the Aussie right here. We already broke that top. So this is a sell setup as it stands. Keep it under the low, one spread away. If this is ready to go. Aussie can go and drop quite a lot because we can assume that this is going to come down all the way to the bottom. If you go with this one as a 1, 2, 3, that's the pattern we're looking at all the time, right? Because we had this big flat here. Now we still have a very sharp one here, right? This had a lot of consolidation. All this has is one sharp one, but this does not have any big flat in it. It's really sharp. Eventually, we might come back to this being an expanding flat. That might be a possibility if this keeps dropping. But if it does, then if this is part of the repeating this, then we still have this move down before it goes back up. This has only one small correction here and one small correction, not the classical running flat pattern we would look for. But even if it is, we take this trade and then we close it and go back up. If not, then this trade goes all the way to the bottom. So the sell on the Aussie is a must. This was the buy last Friday. For those of you who are watching, this was the buy last Friday to the upside. I think we took some good profit from that one. Take this off, go for the sell. New Zealand, sorry, sell. This is an active sell right now. New Zealand is coming down. I'm waiting for that one more move up. which is very possible because I don't see any one matching this. Any one of these could, but I don't see it. I really don't like the idea. So there is a chance that it could do this, right? It could actually do this and then come down. This would be a classical one. Now, here's the thing. New Zealand doesn't have to go back up. Unlike all of them, New Zealand doesn't have to go back up anywhere because we were looking at this pattern. 1, 2, 3, and I think that looks perfect. 1, 2, 3. If we're wrong about that, then it's going to stay here much longer and will come all the way back to the bottom. I don't think that is wrong. I think this one could literally drop. So any pullback on the New Zealand will be a sell setup. Even if it's making, if this is making the consolidation, let's say this is a separate one, is making consolidation here, it's going to come back really deep because we're eventually going to come here. All the arrows from the very start to the top was the forecast to go down. This one was it. This was a forecast to go down. This here was a forecast to go down. And guess what? We thought this one will drop. This one didn't drop. All you have to do is change it to this one. It's in the same pattern. The pattern just didn't complete itself. And when we started to trade that up, we figure out that if this is part of it, then we're coming to break this top. It actually went really nice. This was one also that we considered could have gone up very nice. So wait for it. Wait for this to go up. Go for the sell. This is a sell setup in the making. And CAD. That was a nice sell. Take it off. We're going for the buy now because you got a sharp one. Actually, I think we've got a flat here. I think this could be a running flat. Put an entry above the top. If for any reason they consolidate here, we'll relook at the pattern for a possible deeper downside and then up for a flattened drop. On the big picture, well, it could go back up like this. Right, we did break the low, but then this could end up going back up like this, and we will go with this as the flat for one more down because we're expecting this to go down. So there's this trade here that we could go for. They will all be equal. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We'll go for that. Buy setup. It's an active buy right now. Swiss. Okay, we've got a really sharp drop after all of this up move. I would assume that's the first impulse of a bigger flat, right? This whole piece going up had a correction here, correction here, all these corrections. So this would be like the bigger one, a little bigger than this probably, because the first impulse down is really huge. So we'll make the assumption that this here is going to make a big flat here and then go. So we'll probably be here for a long time trading. Is it possible that it can come back all the way back to retest the low? Well, we can't exclude that possibility. Remember, this one actually came down. And we were thinking that this could be a running flat, but then it went higher. So there's a very rare chance that this comes back here. It's pretty rare. That's a sharp move, but it can come deep, right? See this one here, how deep it came? It came pretty deep. They end up making a really weird running flat like that and then take off. So this could come pretty deep, go back up, kind of like repeat this, and then probably go to the top. Right, we'll see how that structurally develops, which means if we get sell setup, we take it. If we get buy setups, we take it. Come back here. I think we're looking for buy setups on the shorter term because that is a drop. This is an impulse, and you're making a flat here. We don't have a flat. I think we're still in the process of making one. What is this sharp piece? Okay, this one would belong to something in the past here. Right, it wouldn't be part of the future. We'll put it in the past there. This belongs to the past because you made a new high. So we've got, I don't think this is complete. This is the sharp one. This is 1, 2, 3, another one here, 4, 5. So wait for the sharp move down, complete that flat, go for the buy. Now, if you want that trade, test your skills, right? It's about if you're willing to test your skills on that one. But basically, once it finished this, we're looking for the buy, the safer trade, which is, I don't know if this one, it could go up, and then drop. At some point, it will drop. When that drop, we go for this. This doesn't necessarily has to drop. It could just give you a small one, go, and then drop. But it will probably drop. And once it drops, we're going for the trade. Because this is not it. This is really sharp. This is part of the correction. This is correction. This is correction. And whatever is happening, there could be correction or it could be a drop. So let it drop. We go for the buy. Look for a buy setup. Okay, yen is going back up. That's expected. The drop was really nice. And then from here, we expect this. Remember, once it breaks the low, you expect a running flat. Let's see if we've got it. And that means we're looking for a sell. Yen is totally, is still probably more upside. Yen is doing its own thing. So don't compare it to the dollar index and what dollar index is doing. But once it gets somewhere here, start looking for sell setups. If you get buy setups, take it. We don't know. It could be expanding flat. But if you get buy setups, the basic thing is once it gets there, we're looking for one more drop to about this. And from here, we will start to see which of those first impulses. Remember, there are 3 impulses they need to finish. We'll see which one. This is one, but I will exclude this one, right? Although there are big flats here too. So we wouldn't exclude this yet. We're looking for the bigger one. We're looking for this one here, right? You see this one had a lot of sharp pullback, which is similar to what this is having. A lot of sharp pullback for running flats. Let it go up some more, and then we look. You can buy it if you want, but go for the sell. The buy in this one is gone since this morning, I think. So we will be looking for a sell setup. Okay, Euro New Zealand. I think this one is easy. We kind of broke out of this structure, right? Kind of broke out of this. Could it be a running flat? I think it could. Because of this big correction in there, we could make an argument for a running flat there. Actually, like the idea. Wait for buy setups. Let's see if we get it. Which one would it be? This is the first impulse up if it's downside, right? If we're trying to go down, this would be the first impulse up. There was a nice flag here if anybody saw that and bought, great. So what we're going to do, if it makes another one here, we're going for the buy. If it should come back deep to the bottom, we don't get the buy, come deep, then we'll go with this and we'll sell. Right? So it could be a running flat. This thing is really corrective in the middle of this whole thing. Although this one is not exactly impulsive, but this is much more corrective. If we are breaking out for downside, if we're breaking out of that structure there for downside, then it would be a flat here. And the flat means there's a really big move to the downside. Let's see what it looked like in the 4 hours. Well, if we break that to come down, then the downside could be really, really deep, which means we might either retest this low or make one like this, like come really deep and then go back up. Would we run this as a running flat if that happens? I think we will, because of this correction, and this correction. We'll run a running flat there and then go back up. If that happens, you're inside of this. This is the biggest correction. If not, let it drop to the low and then back up. So keep an eye on this to see which pattern we get. Any buy setup we'll take, absolutely. Any buy setup at any point. Like this flat would have been a buy. If you see another one, we buy. We're not going to, because if it's a running flat, it's going to go all the way to the top very fast. So buy setup is a must. We'll go with it. We'll go with that, right? And then we'll see. So look for buy setups first, because we're not going to get a sell setup anytime soon. Even if it's coming back here as the B part for a 1, 2, 3, and then down, we wouldn't get a good sell setup. So look for the buy setup. Okay, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, if you would like all of these, and I mean all of these we do, I'm going to take all of this out because we didn't do them yet. We do all of this in the trading room, and we do more than that. Everything you see on this list, it means we have looked at it at least once. Some of these we don't do them on a regular basis, but we have traders in the room who trade them, and they're really good setups. So somebody would come and say, hey, can you look at this for me? And everybody look at it and said, hey, sorry, that is amazing. Let's all take the trade. Right? Traders end up start trading things they never trade because it's a really good setup and a good pattern. So let's go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do some of these for you, indices and some of the stocks and natural gas and oil and so, and then we're going to do a few of these, about 4 or 5 of these. But if you would like to have all of those, send me a Skype message. You can either join the group as a full-time member, which means you get lifetime access to everything we do with a single payment. Just one single payment, you will be trained. You will have practical training. You will have access to all the course materials. That is 3 course materials. You would have 20-something videos. You will have access to all the live sessions we do, which is at minimum 3 up to 4 or 5 sessions a day. You'll have access to everything. You can have access to go into the trading room anytime you want, as long as traders are in there. You can even open it yourself. That's what you get if you become a full-time member. If you want to be a full-time member, but you can't afford the price immediately, you can join us in what we call the installment program. You're paying in installments. You're paying for the course. You're not paying for the live session you'll get access to. We will give you live access to 2 live sessions a day. But you're not paying for that. Let me make it clear. That is complimentary. You're paying for the course. When you reach the sum of the course, when you paid the full sum of the course, you get access to the group, and you don't have to pay a single cent for the rest of your life. I hope that is clear. So this is not a sales pitch, as traders would say. If I wanted to do sales pitch, I'll have myself on Instagram. I'll have myself on Every single where you can put out with ads, and I will be probably doing 10 YouTube videos a week, and I'll be giving you Black Friday discount and all the discounts you can think of. I've done business. I know how business do. I know when you're selling something, what you do, you create a website and you start selling. Go to all the gurus out there who have websites and they're giving you 10% discount and 5%. Great. Buy stuff from them if you want. I'm here to help you become a successful trader. It's not like I don't have the knowledge of how to sell stuff. I was a businessman before I became a trader, and pretty successful one. I mean, really successful. I started with $2,500 in my pocket and took it into 7 digits. So I was really successful as a businessman. The story of how I become a trader is a really sad, long story. I'm not going to go to that today. But I know how to sell stuff if I wanted to sell you something. So when I said to you, we're not here in the selling business, you're not going to get discount from me. You're not going to get Black Friday, New Year's, Christmas discount. You're not going to get any fancy thing me telling you. If you want to learn to trade, it's up to you. You will make that decision. You will go buy 10 courses, lose your account, and then come to me. You eventually will be here if you want to be a successful trader. You want to be one of the 10%, you're going to be here. As the people who hate me the most, they will tell you. The guy who hated me the most created a website and still is in my group. Up to today, he's still paying me. He paid me twice to be in the group, and he's still in here. He's still trying to take what I learned. He's still trying to learn from me. He's going to make crazy comments, but he's still learning. Ask any one of them who hate me out there making videos on YouTube, where they learn it from, where they learn wave analysis from. And they will tell you it's from me. They'll lie to you first, but then when you corner them, like the Arab guy that was in, I think in one of the countries, some of his traders found me and they corner him and said, hey, where did you learn from? First, he told them he taught me, and then when they got him in the corner, he said, oh, no, well, I learned it from him. So I'm not in the sales business again. Otherwise, I'll be selling those guys to you. So please, if you want to learn to trade, send me a Skype message. That's the only place you're going to get me. That said, let's move on. Let's start. Natural gas. Up, broke out of this pattern. I wasn't expecting it to break out. I was expecting it to come back down. But now that it broke out, we have a contracting flat. I don't like this as a contracting flat. I still think we're making shorter impulses. This would be the correction. This would be the correction. We're making something of a channel here. Right? This pattern would be more of a channel, right? With all of these going up, if you pull it like this, it's kind of going up like this, or a bigger running flat with this one. We broke the top, and I wouldn't put this as a contracting flat as yet either, because this is much more corrective than all of them. So at some point, we're going to get one of these big ones done, this one here. At some point, it's going to happen when all these pieces are fitted together, and I don't think we even have this one. We could put these two together. I'll be willing to do that. So this could be a 1, 2, 3 up there, right? Like this is a 1, 2, 3. This is relatively sharp. That is relatively sharp. So the next one we should get should be this. We remember we never broke the low, right? So at some point, this is going to come back here and go back up there if we're going to get this as a running flat. So from the top here, if you get any sell setup, take the trade. Any sell setup you take. Any buy setup you have to take. 1 second, guys. My voice is still. Give me a second. Let me just. Where is my. I can mute myself. Okay. I lost the panel from muting. Okay. That's it. Let's go. So what we're going to look for is a sell setup to come back here, right? Keep your eyes on that one. Natural gas drop. That's a good sell, and there are more sell setups. This was the last sell. You should close that and wait for another one. It's making a channel now, so be careful. That is channeling. It's probably going to do this, drop again, but then at some point it goes up, right? My voice is going now. I definitely need to mute myself. I don't know where the mute is in this one. Give me 1 second. Oh, I think I found the panel. No, not that one. Come on, where the hell is this panel? I think they changed the panel on Zoom, so I have. Let me see how I can mute myself. Okay, got it. Sorry, guys, I finally got it. Thank you. Sorry for that. So let's go. Keep your eyes on this, because this here is making one of these channels. And if they do that, then eventually this goes up, either as a deeper correction or total upside. Is it possible total upside? No, deeper correction. It will go as a deeper correction and come back. So be careful with the sells now. Expect, we have divergence, expect a deeper correction. You might even get a buy setup. Let's go into 15 and see. I would be careful with it, but yes, you can get a buy setup. This is still a flat. This is still one more down, right? You see the depth of the pullback. So it's probably going to just do here, make one more drop, and then you'll get this, right? It could even go higher, right? It could go higher and then drop, making this into a channel. And you can sell this one. We know the channel, right? So that's a sell, but we will always look for the buy, especially from the bottom going up. So I'm going to put the channel in play because I think this was going to happen. And this one is going to go higher. I don't know if you want to take this buy because this buy is going to be part of the consolidation still. Right? If you get a buy setup, it's still part of the consolidation. The channel is going to get wider this way. These impulses are going to get stronger to the top there, right? This is going to get shorter. So this one here is probably going to go up. You're going to probably get that pull back. You're going to get something like this. And then we can look for the sell setup here. We can look for this drop. See, the drops are sharp. I don't think we're taking off now, right? It's possible. We don't know that, right? We don't know when the takeoff starts. So if you can buy this to go back up, and you have to be really cautious, right? Just in case it's just a short one and they drop and then go back up. Sometimes you get that, right? This makes a small one drop, go back up there and then come and then go. So buy setups, maybe this one is pretty deep. So be careful, right? You guys can handle that. Let's go. We're gonna go with I'm gonna take that off as a neutral one for now, right? So this was the buy, this was the drop, and now it's still going up. Take that. We had the buy. We're making a flat here. I think this is clear. You're in the middle of it. Let this happen. Go there, come back here. Go for the buy. See, this one came back, go for the buy. So wait for this to come back here and then go for the buy. This sell is too short. I don't think you'll get it. If you do get it, then great. But most time it's gonna be too short. See, like this one was really short. It didn't even break the low. And then go for the buy. So we'll be looking for a buy setup here. Same for S&P 500. Wait for it to come down. Don't try. There's a sell setup here, but don't trade it. This might still be correction. I don't know how big this is going to be, but you want this one more down. But you want this one more down. I think this one we have this as a, I thought this would be a flat because they broke the low. So we still have this piece here as a problem. We don't have the downside in it. So there should be one more downside before you go, right? Because unless we pull this one to be with this, which means this as part of a deep correction, and this is a 1, 2, 3, you can make an argument for that. It's not the best setup. So if we take this as this is a separate correction, that's really sharp. There is only one small correction at the bottom here, not the ideal one. I think we will have a more complex pattern. I'll leave this. I don't think that is going to be it. I think this piece will make a more complex pattern. I wouldn't be surprised if they come back deep and then go. It will match this down move, right? So you're going to get 1, 2, 3. We need this one down. So there's a good chance when this comes, it's going to come pretty deep and then go. Let's see if we get this sell setup, right? Because it's becoming a complex pattern with all of this. I don't think this is the final one down because if we didn't break the low, it would be perfect. This would be a flat. You can go with a running flat, 1, 2, 3. In that case, it still has to come down. So even if we take this here as a running flat in the middle of this piece, right? This is a regular one, but this is a 1, 2, 3 for a running flat. We still have to come down for this one. And then probably these two would be part of the bigger correction. So we're going to go up and down here for a while before we think. You can look for sell setups, but with a lot of caution. NASDAQ, same thing here. We got the same pattern. It never came down. It actually went up. So it will come down. Just wait. Wait for the setups. And this will probably make another flat and one more up. But then after that, it's going to come down. So the buy here is not a good idea, right? Because we're not taking this as 1, 2, 3 with this here. This would have been a good one, right? But then remember, they made a big flat in here that came back to the low. So it's going to be a more complex pattern. Sell setups are good. If you get sell setups, it will help. Let's see this. Okay, this one, you get the sell setup here, go for it. It's going to stay here a while, but this is a sell setup forming there. And that sell setup will bring you back for a running flat like this. You're expecting a move down that is equivalent to this. Something to this, right? Similar. So this was a drop, but that one didn't drop very far. Take it off. If you bought this, is good. This one we weren't buying, we were looking for a sell here, right? Because we wanted this move down. But now we're going to get it from here, which means if you get a sell setup there, go for it. I will be in this pattern. I think it's going to happen. It's going up, right? The bigger move is up. We're trying to go back to the top there, but not without the running flat here. Again, I don't see this as making a running flat with this. So let's see. This has a flag. If the flag drop, it's going to come here and then continue to go up. Go for the trade. Let's see if we can get it. Okay, let's do some of these. Bitcoin. Oh, by the way, I think I should do this one. I think this was the one, not FTSE, Tesla. Yep. So remember one guy on YouTube was going crazy about why I stopped doing Tesla because it's wrong. This is still the same pattern. So let me go with you. The first one is we thought this was going to go up. We bought it. We closed it. We didn't sell. We bought this one. We closed it. We didn't sell. We didn't buy this one because we know that was going to make a flat, come down here, and then go back up. So the buy setup was here, I think somewhere in here with an entry order. If you bought, you got it. So now it's back at the top. Here's the question. Remember, this has to still come back. Is this enough for it to come down? Yeah, that's enough. It could come down. So if you get sell setups here, you can sell now. Because if you get a sell setup here, it's going to come back to this low and then go back up. So for these crazy people who like to shout on YouTube with little knowledge of wave analysis, here's an advice for you. Get some knowledge and then open your mouth. Because it's very dangerous. Little knowledge is extremely dangerous, and it's dangerous for you, not for me. I'm confident in what I'm doing, right? We know what we were doing here. The problem is you. If you're a real trader and you're actually trading with that kind of knowledge, you're likely going to lose your account. You're one of the 90% of people who are losing their account. And that is a fact. When I said 90%, I mean that is a fact, because I was just at the brokers exhibition, an exhibition where brokers are only exhibiting. And I spoke to every single one of them at that exhibition here in Dubai. And from every single one of them, the information is that 90 or more % of traders are losing their account. And some of these guys I know personally because I happen to have met them not the first time and not the second time. I meet them at different places. And they're pretty honest about it. They didn't make it a secret. Actually, they give presentations where they were giving speeches, and they actually said that 85 to 90% of their traders are losing money. And the reason they said it is that they're showing you things they're doing that are going to help you, that they want you to be successful. Come join us. Well, they can say that. It doesn't mean you're going to be successful if you join them, right? Joining a broker doesn't make you successful, but every broker wants you to join them. So they're saying, look, we have this instrument, we have that instrument that is going to make you successful. Those instruments don't make you successful. Knowledge is what is going to make you successful. You can live in your ignorance and put all the instruments you want, and you're still going to fail. Nowhere in any business, in anything in the world, instruments make you successful, right? Think of a guy who's flying a plane, a pilot. The instrument is not what makes him a successful pilot. It's the knowledge he has as a pilot. The knowledge and the experience is what is going to make him successful, not the instrument that he is flying. Only fools think that instruments and the charts are going to make them successful traders. And it's very foolish to think so. It shows you're very, very ignorant of how this works. So for you specifically, please join me. Here's what I'm going to do. For you specifically, send me a message. I'm going to give you 1 month free to access our trading room so that you can learn something. And you will save yourself from losing your account. Send me a message. Tell me you were the guy who made that comment. I will send you, I will know you because I'll ask you to make another comment. Right? Under the same comment you made with the same name. And if you are the person, you'll get 1 month free. Absolutely free. Just for you. Because I want you to be successful. I'm not selling you anything. It's 1 month free for you to trade your own account. No strings attached, nothing. You will leave after the 1 month if you want, if you don't like what I'm doing. But at least you will save yourself. Within that 1 month, you will make money. So that said, let's move on. Bitcoin. Okay, so we expect that move up. So we've got it. That is this move up, right? So we got that move. Now, here's the thing. Not necessary that this move belongs to this, right? That sometimes could be that this is a more complex one, and this is going to continue to go up. The bigger picture is still upside. Remember, the bigger picture is still upside. You can see from the way I'm putting the lines that the bigger picture, this could be an expansion. I don't like that expansion, but it could be an expansion, right? Because this one tagged the low, we are going to take it as a low. If not, then there's a good chance this here is a bigger flat. And if this is a bigger flat, it's going to come back here before it goes back up, right? This is a correction, this is a correction. We don't know. If this thing keeps dropping really sharp at any point, then that upside is off. The upside is only on because we're going flat right now. Now, if this is to stay here for a while and consolidate more, you can take the risk of taking this trade only with the hope that it does that. But should it do this, you have to exit that trade. Now you're going to say, how am I going to know if it's doing this or if it's doing that? And that is where I come in. That's where the knowledge of the charts comes in. You can know if it's doing this or if it's doing that. Or you can know when the hell to get out of it because it's not doing this. That's what trade management is about. Because you don't know what the chart is going to do at any given time. We make forecasts. We're not making 100% guarantee for it to do. It's a forecast of what it can do. And should it not do that, you have to exit the trade. That was exactly what happened with Tesla. We made forecasts and the forecast didn't go the way we wanted. So we exit the trade. We wait for it to drop lower. We bought it again. It still didn't go. We exit the trade and we buy again at a newer low. And that is exactly what you can do here. When it broke the low, if you bought this, you did excellent. If it comes back here, when it do this, you buy again, you did excellent. What if none of these go? Can you sell this? Yeah, well, you can see that this was a sell setup if you wanted it. If you wanted it. Because the sell is not a great idea. The buy is a great idea right now. And the buy is only to break this top, because when it breaks that top, the surprise is going to come to everybody. It's not necessarily going to go very far. It could make one more impulse, but then that would be the impulse where they're going to exit their trades and give it to you. Give it to the fools who are willing to buy here and then drop it back like this. See, when it broke that top, what happened? Dropped. When it breaks this top, there's a good chance. If it does break that top, it's going to drop. Right? Will it do that? I don't care. Here's the thing. The point is not that it has to do that. The point is I'm aware that that is possible. So if I'm in the buying, I should know to manage my trade carefully. And if it doesn't, if it keeps going, great, you're still in the buy. You just put a stop loss or exit strategy somewhere. And if it doesn't do that, then guess what? I'm out of the trade. You are still in, but I'm out because I'm aware of that possibility. That's the whole point. That's the point of knowledge. It enhances you to understand what the chart is doing. So you have an edge in the market. Okay, let's hope you learned something from that. Let's go. ETH. Still downside. This one is telling me this is still downside. No matter what you look and how you look at it, it's still downside, right? We're still going down. This one is still going down. It's going up back, but that is only to complete this flat as an expanding flat. One, this will be 1, 2, 3 up there. This is 1, 2, 3. I'll probably even take out this contracting flat. Once it goes back up, this will be 1, 2, 3. Go back there, and there's still a chance it's coming down. I don't see the upside as yet. You need to break out of this completely. You need to break out of this, make a flag here, a correction, and then I'll decide it's upside. Right now, I still think it's going to do this. Now, let's go with XRP. Yep, this one is going up, but it's only to retest this top. Right? If it managed to make a flag here, then you get a trade to the top there, but then you have to be careful because it can still drop again. We did break the low. The buy here is not a bad idea. This could do that. There's one chance that this could do it because we did break this low already, right? We broke this low actually. So depending on how you're looking at the whole pattern, we broke this low. See? So this could go back up, right? Totally if it wants. We could take this as a 1, 2, 3. And they're similar, they're very short. So the buy setup here is a good idea. First, if you get a flag and you get a setup here to buy, you may want to take it to break this top and then get it to break even. You can't lose on that, right? So do we have a buy setup? Well, not as yet. You actually have a short-term sell setup here, but that is just for the flat. Right, this sell setup is just to complete this flat here and then give you a buy setup. Right, so let's see if we get it. If we get a buy setup, is a good idea. See, the reason I have this as a buy and we have Bitcoin as buy, that was on Friday. Bitcoin went up. Well, yes, it went up because we were expecting this move up. We have this as a buy setup because we're expecting this move up. We're expecting this move up here. So if you bought from here or there, you're still good. You can close and re-enter. ADA. More downside. This actually, this might be over and we're dropping. So wrong one. This here might be over and they're dropping because it's consolidated. If it makes a really big flat, you can try to retest the stop. Not necessarily, but you can try to. And BNB, same thing, a little more up. Right? This one has to go up a little more. But I don't think we're breaking down. This didn't come down that much, which means we're still in the consolidation. Right? Even if it breaks the stop, the chance are it will still come back here. I'm not going with any contracting flat as yet. Right, so I think we're still in the, we need this sharp move down. At some point, you get it. Let me take this out. We'll figure out what the pattern is when it's you know, when everything is completed. Maybe this is a expanding flat in here, and this is just making a bigger flat of its own. They can stay here forever. They're that consolidation. I mean, for months and months until it eventually go. This is a consolidation for upside, by the way. This consolidation is all happening at top. This will eventually break this top. Eventually, there will be one more move to break that up. The top we needed to break is actually this one, not that one, but it looks like it might break that one. The top you need to break would be this. We need to break that one, because the way I'm looking at the structure, again, you can look at this as a 1, 2, 3, and if that's a 1, 2, 3, this is a slow move up. It break both top and then come back. Right? That's one possibility. The second possibility is that this is the correction, right? This is the correction. Come here, break this top, maybe even break this up, and then comes back here and then go back up. I think this is a more likely scenario, right? Making this pattern here and then going back there. This would be 1, 2, and then 3. So buying from here would be excellent. If you, when it comes here, right? If you're in this, this is what the BNB, the Binance coin. When it comes here, if you get sells out of it, you can sell, you sell. But then buying from here under these lows here, going back up there would be perfect. So you let it drop. It can drop really fast. See how fast this drop? I think that drop could be really fast. And then the upside. I'm going to leave you at that. So if you're on YouTube and you'd like to join us, send me a Skype message. If not, enjoy your week. Have a good trading, and I hope you're successful. I hope you make money. Because I have only one purpose here, is to help traders become successful. Nothing else. And that's why I do so much webinars live every day. So the trader gets the guidance they need. Most of my traders don't even need that guidance. They can be successful by themselves. But they still come because they'll be helping somebody else in the group who's struggling. There are always new traders in the group who need their help. So once you learn, you can give back. Knowledge is always free. No matter what anybody tells you, knowledge is always free. If you're going to university, you're not paying for the knowledge. You're paying for the time you're at the university. To use their auditorium, the teacher's time, all of that, the salary for all of the people who work there. You're paying for that time. You can't pay for the knowledge, because then there's a problem. People will have to pay a different price, because some people leave the university with a vast amount of knowledge, and some people leave the university with nothing. Like literally with nothing. Their knowledge can't even get them to work in the field they are. They end up working somewhere else. So if you're paying for knowledge, the fee you pay will have to be different, right? But everybody pays the same fee because you're paying per term. You're paying for a certain period of time. So what you will be paying me for is 6 weeks of my time. Of the entire time I'll be giving you, you are only paying me for 6 weeks. You cannot afford to pay me for lifetime access. My time is expensive. It's not that cheap as you would think. So if you're going to pay me for a lifetime per hour, I think it's going to cost you a lot, regardless of the knowledge you get, right? Because when you hire somebody to work for you as a security guard, you don't ask them their knowledge. You give them something and say, stand here and secure this, right? So basically, you don't care his work. That doesn't mean you wouldn't get robbed, right? You can still get robbed with the security guard, get beaten up. So you can still lose money if you even come to any guru, for that matter of fact. So you're paying me for 6 weeks of my time, and then you get lifetime access. And I'm happy to give you access lifetime. I'm happy to be here every day because I'm trading too and I like it. That's it. See all of you. Take care. Bye.